Joining us live from Singapore, we have our guest of honor, Mr. Sundeep Shrivastava. Sir has completed his education in CSU Strategy from MBM College, Bhopal, following it up with an MBA in International Management from International Management Institute, New Delhi. He is a professional with more than 20 years of extensive techno-commercial experience in medical devices and CRO industry, spearheading different functional areas including general management, business operations, development of new markets, and building high-performing cross-cultural teams. Sir, we are grateful to have you us here today. I would like to request Sir to guide the inductees with his words of wisdom.
Thank you so much for inviting me. The respective Vice Chancellor, Honorable Apostles of IPER, Amarjeet, professors who are the champions of IPER, and the true guest of honor, the brilliant minds of Batch 26 at IPER. On the outset, I would like to really accolade the promoters, Shri K.G. Ravthani sir, Secretary Shri R.K. Sadhwani, and definitely young visionary, Mr. Narendra Ravthani. You created an institute and, of course, brought, and actually, I'll say everybody on the dais also, because a collective effort has brought Bhopal in the list of management learning centers. And of course, for students in Bhopal, a center of excellence, pretty much covering entire central India. It's a matter of a pride and immense pleasure for me to be with the young guns in my alma mater city, where I was born and brought up. When I was discussing with Amarjeet on what should I be talking, he said that with the young guns, you should be talking about what are the key ingredients which a international community is looking from a management graduates. So what I thought is like, let me talk about three important components. And of course, as picking up from the feather what Mr. Ravthani brought on teamwork, leadership, and values, I'll talk about three behavioral components, which are very integral, not only to be a successful professional, but also as an individual. I'll talk about a little bit about my background and bring to a point. I started, of course, with a humble background in Bhopal, having my education as a stats graduate out of MVM College. But I had the curiosity to understand the pharma market in 90s. That was the growing time when MNCs were entering India. We were seeing a lot of companies within India becoming big generic companies. And that's how we see that India is the biggest generic market. The vaccine trials were evolving in India, and India was becoming a leader in terms of clinical research for vaccines. That's how I started with my career in sales, as any would do. And that curiosity led to that what type of antibiotics are being used in which indication, whether our healthcare services are available at a primary, tertiary, or secondary level, how this is being defined. That led me to understanding the basics about not only from a sales point of view, but also from a supply chain management, understanding the customer needs, how you cater to that needs, and ultimately understanding the difference between customer and the end user, which in turn is a patient. That is a very critical aspect when you try to understand that how a market moves with the end user analysis. A lot of time, the marketing guys used to prepare strategies, and in sales, we were supposed to implement it. And that really resulted in, again, having that curiosity of how these marketing strategies are framed. Luckily, got an opportunity to move into marketing, heading up South India and Sri Lanka for launching key products for a big multinational and making it a $1 million project in the first year of launch. Now, that really helped in understanding the ethos, ethical marketing, how you promote product from a patient welfare perspective, and understanding what are the unmet needs which needs to be catered. That curiosity further got supplemented by the fact that in pharmaceutical, we use a lot of clinical trial data. You would must have heard about the clinical trials because of the COVID and pandemic era where we were looking for vaccines. So any medicine which comes into the market has to undergo through rigorous clinical trials, and that helps generate the right data, which is used for regulatory approvals, marketing approvals, and commercialization. That really brought me the interest of understanding clinical trials. And a statistician by heart and management graduate by profession, I moved into clinical trials and started working in generating clinical data, which is used for bringing the product and devices in the market. Overall, I think in this whole journey, what I can say is what kept my drive going was the curiosity to know what entails a thing to move. And that is how I kind of went from learning from sales, marketing into the overall management of things. As a young graduate, when I look into the things, this is what I talk about, that you need to understand that what is your driving force. You need to have that curiosity going on with you so that you can bring in that right content, and that gray cells gives you stimulus to move forward. The second point which I wanted to bring out was on understanding the unmet need. The people on Dias talked about that there is a lot of learn to from the surroundings around. When we talk about from an international marketing perspective, you as a management graduate, we need to understand that what is the unmet need which we are trying to cater. In the field of medical devices, which I specialize in, our unmet need basically define the intended use of a product, which means that whatever I'm trying to bring in, whether my product is able to do as intended, because that defines my product labels, that defines my approval by the regulators, and that is what becomes my ingredient to commercialize and market, which becomes very different from an indication of use. So understanding that unmet need is very critical. And obviously, it is if you look into understanding that need, it will result into new innovation, production, upgrade, extension, mobilization, or of any product or services which we define. Statistically, if you talk about any customer has around 25 needs in every market, and any customer would judge that need whether it is met or not met with around 150 parameters. Let's take it through examples. We talk about merger and acquisition. The recent merger, which I talked about this year, Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Now, Microsoft is moving into the future of gaming, and this is on cloud, not on console. So they are going away from their PlayStation and now coming up on pretty much on cloud. So that is the change which is happening, and understanding the unmet need of the gamers. That's the opportunity they are looking of capitalizing it. Talk about telecommunication. If we see that unmet need and the changes which has happened in technology, be it from your simple landline phone to now we are talking and having a lecture on Google Meet, I think we have come a long way. And that is a result of curiosity leading to understanding the unmet need and bringing a product and services which has got multi-billion dollars invested and recovered into it. Banking. I'd within like last year, 8 years in Singapore, I don't recall uh, how many times I've gone to the bank. Probably just 3 times in last 8 years. That's how the banking has been revolutionized, and that is again going to the unmet need which was trying to be catered, and then of course that evolution which happened in the market. Unicorns we talk about. Uh, 2022, the data which says is around 1,000 unicorns across the globe. And actually, it's a matter of pride when we look into the unicorns out of India, around 10% of them are from India. In 2022 alone, 21 unicorns with a valuation of around 26.9 billion has been born in India. And they're all trying to cater that unmet need which exists in the market. They're catering to around 56 diverse sectors, including healthcare, life sciences, education, professional services, and agriculture. So what I'm saying is try to understand that unmet need as a management professional. It becomes very important for us to understand that, and because that will help cater a product which is a market need. Lastly, I'll talk about the third component, which is change management. We have all learned through the pandemic years that how life can transform and life still goes on. From a business point of view, I can talk about from a healthcare industry perspective, and in particular from my industry in clinical research organization. The market growth has been almost in double digits. So yes, all sectors did not grow, but there were opportunity and people have really optimized that. Because see the market, there has been fluctuation, there is a talk about recession, but from an Indian stability point of view or the countries which are stable, I think we are able to sustain that growth. So during that change, how you can be agile, adaptive, and how you can facilitate uh, that overall adaptability to change, which can be external factors, cultural, demographic, political, economic, name it. It's how you can manage change. So that is something which I feel the three critical factors which should be incorporated when you are looking from as a management professional, be it within India or outside India, the three key behaviors. That's how I can sum it. Something which I really like and is close to my heart is what Dr. APJ said, that when you dream once, it is a dream. When you dream it twice, it becomes a desire. And when you dream it the third time, it becomes your passion, your aim, and your goal. So I'll summate my thoughts with three things. Keep your curiosity alive, as it will be leading you down the new paths. Observe your surroundings for the unmet needs. They are your market opportunities. Be adaptable to change, as change is inevitable. And probably something to ponder or probably laugh, if I can request to move to the next slide. Let the gray cells have some stimulus. It's a famous six blind men and elephant story. I'm definitely not saying that this is something is a reflection what you are thinking now joining your course. This is definitely not the picture depicting how world over is right now thinking from an economy perspective. But definitely a thought to take forward that with the open eyes and you see the elephant in the room, what are the opportunities it opens to you? Sitting in an institute like IPER, which has got the right foundation, and of course, the passion which was exhibited by promoters, your teachers, your director, I think I'm very confident you have come to the right place. Just see this elephant with the open eyes, and you'll see all the opportunities around you. With that, thank you, everyone. I appreciate this opportunity to be with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your precious words.